It's hard to believe that there's a scientific explanation when experiencing deja vu, because I get it so hard. That's what she said.
Bro, I
before
deja vu
anybody
so
gets there.
hard. Oh, I deja
Bro,
vu
the
so
other day,
hard, girl.
the other day, me and my bros were deja vuing.
Hey, everybody, and guess what, motherfucker?
Guess what?
Yo,
This is Convosaries. I'm RJ.
and I am Dash.
And
And
you
I'm
guys,
Trevan.
sorry, Trevan. Sorry, Trevan. So sorry. This is the second time we've done this, everybody who's listening. RJ forgot to press the button again. I'm so sorry. We were sitting here talking for like 20 minutes.
It was 5 minutes.
Yeah, it might have been 5, but it felt like 30 now.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Now that we've been talking without the thing. So sorry again, everybody.
We are real naturals at this.
We're
as you can tell.
naturals. Naturals.
Naturals.
So, what we did talk about is that Trevan and Dash finally saw the Tiger King, guys, and
Finally.
we're definitely going to talk about that later. I can't wait. We also have a Devil's Advocate today
Yes, we do.
from the Tiger King, and of course, what is it, Trevan?
It is, did that fucking bitch Carol Baskin kill her husband? Let us know what you think.
What do you guys think? I
Let
got
us
to know.
We're interested.
Got to know.
We'll be arguing later.
So we then got into everybody's background. I'm just summing it up, I guess, for everybody. So we got into everybody's, like, what we've been doing for the week. We feel like it's been fucking hella long.
Yep.
This last week has been so long since I've seen you guys. I guess since now I'm used to seeing you twice a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doing our Corona series.
Yeah. Check out Corona Series. Make sure you're listening to Corona Series. That's extra content for you guys
Yep,
while you are quarantined.
Available on all audio streaming
shit.
platforms.
Check it us
Ooh,
out.
noise.
Check
Audio
us out.
streams. And make sure you're looking at our videos on YouTube, liking and subscribing.
Like and
Rate
subscribe.
us
ladies
and like
gentlemen.
us. Review us and all that stuff. Thank you for doing that.
Yep.
So let's get back to it. We were talking about Netflix. I had told you guys I have some stuff. Thankfully, I haven't revealed that yet before I looked up and seen what time we were not on.
What time it is?
But I do have some stuff for you guys. Before that, we were talking about the platform. Dash, you were saying that you were let down at the end.
Yep. And my analogy about a roller coaster and how it just wasn't great.
Yeah.
And at the end, I enjoyed the journey.
The
but
journey was so good, though,
it
man.
was. But think about it. Like, you going through this journey of becoming an actor, right?
Yeah.
And you want it to be a continual thing. You don't want it to be like, I'm at the peak of my career, and then, you want it to be a continual thing as far as you go.
I feel you.
Yeah, yeah.
It was such a good journey, though. It's just that the Spanish directors like that, they just kind of like pick you way up, and then like just at the peak of it, they're just like, all
It's
right,
like they left you hanging.
you finish it. They're like, all
decide.
right, we gave you enough imagination to figure out the end, so you run with it. Take it.
And if you guys at home saw that, what did you think?
And,
At
and
the end.
tell me, have you guys gone there? Have you asked yourself what happens?
Yeah.
What happens in your mind, right?
In my mind,
Yeah.
I don't know. I was pissed and didn't think about it anymore.
You see what I'm saying? What about you, Trevan?
I enjoyed the journey. I don't think the ending completely ruined it. And I think that in some respects it was a good ending.
Yeah.
I think it kind of left you hanging, and without spoiling anything, and we've talked about it before. I definitely thought it could have ended differently, or it could have gone on longer. Like, what happened after that? Like, what,
So did
But
you end
at
up painting the picture?
That's
Is
what I'm saying. At the
asking.
end, painted a picture. No, I really did, though. I was like, okay, I kind of figure.
And then some of it's just left up to interpretation.
Yeah, I finished it in my mind.
I didn't. I just left it there.
No?
Yeah, I was just
Yeah,
like,
I think you have to do it for your mental well-being. You got to finish the movie in your
Well,
mind.
too
So-
much of a part of you is like, but what really did happen? What's the actual truth? And maybe the director didn't have a truth.
Maybe.
It's a made up story. It's not something that
Yeah.
happened. So it's
Maybe-
okay to let that go.
or maybe they lost the script to the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
You never know.
Oh.
Things like that.
Lost the script. They were like, I don't know, just finish it that way.
Finish it that way.
I almost let a spoiler go right there. You guys go watch that. Tell us what you think, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, what else is new on
Yeah.
Netflix?
So
Reg?
before we get there, I just wanted to let everybody know I'm drinking again, and
There's need to disclose.
that has nothing to do with me not starting the record button. All
Not
right.
at all. Not a little bit.
Nothing. But yeah, on Netflix, have you guys seen Parasite yet?
I have not.
No,
Have you heard of Parasite?
I may have seen it, but
they are
I
bothersome.
don't watch a whole lot of Netflix.
I
like
mean,
you
that's
do.
on Hulu. Sorry, it's on Hulu, but it's still good shit.
Oh,
It is nowhere near what I thought it was gonna be because everybody was just like, "Oh, it's just like it's normal in the beginning, and all of a sudden it's just fucking crazy, like pandemonium." It's not like that, but shit does get crazy. I ain't gonna lie. It's not what I was expecting, but it was still a good movie.
Yeah.
Watch Parasite, and if you like that, watch Snowpiercer. I can talk about that one without spoiling it. Snowpiercer is actually by the same director of Parasite. It has Chris Evans in it, so Captain America's in the movie.
Nice.
And it's this
shouts out.
right? It's this one long ass motherfucking train, right? That everybody in the world is like Ice Age happened again, like the second Ice Age,
Okay.
right? And everybody who survived was on this last train, and the train just goes forever. It can't stop. If it stops, it'll freeze over, right? So like, and it's broken up into society, kind of like if you think about the platform in that way. But you like the people in the back of the train can't go up to the front of the train. People in the front of the train are too high class to go past a certain point. And then just think about people getting fucking fed up with that shit. It is good. Snowpiercer and Parasite. Those are good. I also just watched this movie called Code 8. This is on Netflix. So Code 8. Do you guys know who Stephen Amell is?
No.
All right, for you
Can't
guys
tell
out
you.
there listening who knows who Stephen Amell is, he's the Green Arrow
Okay.
from the CW TV shows, from
Okay.
the Arrowverse. He's the one that started this whole thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But he's actually a really good actor. It's him and his brother, Robbie Amell, who is on The Flash. Okay.
Nice. I don't know the brothers.
Yeah. So Robbie Amell plays Ronnie, Caitlin or Killer Frost's boyfriend. If you guys watched the movie, the show, you guys know. But so these two brothers are in the same movie, and they do a really good job.
That's real.
It's
cool.
actually about like powered people, super powered people.
Yeah.
But it's not like what you think. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna fucking like be Spider-Man on your asses. It's like outlawed, so they have to like try not to use their shit, but then like they go do jobs depending on what their like powers are. It's dope though. It's a movie. It's pretty dope.
So, what's your favorite genre of movie?
Action all day.
Action.
All day.
Do you have a favorite trilogy or like favorite? What stands out for you in terms of action? Which movie?
Well, okay, I do have a favorite trilogy. It's weird that you said this. It's not action though. But The Lord of the Rings, I did a marathon this weekend of all three movies. But my favorite action trilogy is definitely John Wick. Hands down, because it is gruesome, it is rated R, and it is beautiful choreography, fight choreography.
John Wick is dope. I have seen the first one, I believe, the one with the dog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they all have a dog in them, but
So it's the one where he goes after the mafia man's son.
yeah, that's the first one. Yeah,
So I watched that one, and
they only get better.
I think I've watched 3,
With
but I don't
Halle Berry?
remember. Without messing up the plot, what happens?
Oh, I mean, the plot's there. You already know the plot. That doesn't mess up the action. That doesn't mess up the
Yeah,
movie.
John Wick is a straight up badass, dude.
I've seen John Wick a few times,
Yeah.
all of them. But Halle, like he have you have to have seen the second one because I don't want that might mess up the plot for the third one.
I guess I gotta do that then.
Okay,
That's the
yeah.
next thing I'm gonna
Halle
watch.
Berry's in the third one though.
Because I do enjoy John Wick, a good John Wicking.
Good John Wicking.
I do enjoy a good John Wicking.
Dude, I like horror movies better like than anything.
Yeah.
But I've told you guys before, I don't like get into movies that much. So
Yeah.
like it has to be something extreme to get my attention, and I like getting scared. I think it's entertaining.
You think getting scared is entertaining. So why won't you fly if that's scary? for you?
Right.
That's too far. That's too
Thank
far.
you.
That's too far.
That's too far. I don't want to be scared in real life.
I
He
didn't.
said he
I'm
likes
not like, oh, I'm a
extremes.
badass. I
Did
watch
he
the
just say
scariest
that?
movies. I ain't no pussy, but like,
Oh my
I
gosh.
enjoy getting scared. But that is,
You're just like a
entirely-
little adrenaline, right?
yeah, that's like
I feel you.
piss your pants shit. I'm good. I'm okay.
Just
You know-
take Dramamine and knock yourself out.
The genre that I enjoy the most is comedy because
I do love a
there's
good comedy.
no better thing than just sitting down and laughing at some dumb stuff.
I really
Especially
like
with
some good comedy.
like the people I hang around with, just like keep me laughing, bro. We just have
Yeah.
a good time. That's why I like
Hell yeah.
hanging out with you guys because we just crack up on Convosaries and do that for the fans as well. You know, like it's good entertainment.
It's a lot of fun here. We
Yeah,
have a lot of fun.
yeah.
Hell yeah,
All
we
day,
do.
every day.
Speaking of comedy, do you know? I know you know. We brought him up again before. I mean, Andrew Schultz. You know who that is?
I probably do, but I don't know the name and the face.
White comedian. He is fucking hilarious.
Comedian.
I mean,
Who is stereotype?
Was he on SNL?
I think those are two things you need to know about Andrew Schultz. No, he wasn't.
He's lit.
He's
He's funny.
I tried not to, Trevan, but I'm gonna do it. Okay. Him and Charlemagne the God have a podcast
It
together.
wouldn't be the same.
Oh,
if you-
yeah. They do have a
Charlemagne the
podcast
God of
together.
the day.
I've heard of this from someone. I
Me,
don't know who.
brilliant idiots. But anyway, so I told you he has a podcast too.
Okay,
Andrew Schultz has a podcast called Flagrant 2.
nice.
But it's
Shouts out to Andrew Schultz.
shouts out, thank you. Shouts out to Andrew Schultz.
Shouts out.
He's my best bud. We fist bumped at his comedy show. We talk. We're great friends. So anyway, so remember I told you he was coming up with different names and shit like Kung Flu.
Yeah.
I heard another one,
Okay.
the Wuhanic plague.
Oh.
You know where that comes from?
Yeah, Wuhan.
The bubonic plague. You know what the bubonic plague is?
The Michael
bubonic
Bublonic play.
The Michael Bublonic.
I do not know.
I couldn't
I
help
love
myself.
it. I love it.
the
The Michael
dad
Bublonic plague.
jokes.
Michael
They live inside
Bublé.
of me.
You know I love
No
it.
my
relation
God.
to Michael Bublé.
But I saw the best dad joke today. It
What was
was this guy was like half of his body was standing behind the truck, and he says, like the half of his body that you can see like vertically. Like,
So wait, all of
Like
him
he's
was standing
coming at-
behind the truck, or
No.
just half of his body?
no, like he's coming out from behind the truck. You can see like his left side,
But the way you worded it,
his right side.
half
But
of
he's-
his body was behind the truck.
Hold on.
I don't know where the other half was.
It's fucking stupid. It's
I'm
not
listening,
even
I'm
worth
listening.
explaining.
Sorry, I'm listening.
But he says, I got some. And he's got toilet paper in his right hand. You can see it. And he says, you won't believe what it cost me. And he steps out, and he's like, got a prosthetic arm and a prosthetic leg.
That is fucking great.
Oh, my God. Like,
Is that real?
Yeah, I was looking at memes this morning on the toilet
That's
when
fucking
when
beautiful.
I got up.
This is the best place to look at memes, bro.
I'm just kidding. I don't even think I was on the toilet. But, yeah, no, I laughed so hard.
Speaking of the Wuhanic plague
Yeah.
and Wuhan, this city or this region in Wuhan, China, banned eating cats and dogs starting May 1st.
I heard about that going on in a lot of China.
Why did they do that? Didn't it come
It's
from
actually
bats?
not a lot of China. It's only certain regions. Yeah.
Well, a few. I've seen like multiple
You're right, Dash.
articles.
And yeah, but I mean, I hope that's not the last region because I do want to try. Don't fucking judge me, all right? Don't you judge me out there. But I
Out
like to
there.
try a lot of shit, and I've been to China before, and I tried a lot of shit.
I'll eat about anything.
Yeah, I draw the
It
line
has
at.
hot sauce on it.
At a
If
bat.
it has hot sauce. Nah, I probably would have eaten a bat. I draw the line probably at. You guys are laughing. I'm serious about that shit. Like they eat the little like amniotic fluid sacs.
What?
In like some like rural areas in China.
I don't know.
They
what
eat
that means.
everything. Rural?
Amniotic,
Oh, like the the sac that the baby is born in.
like the placenta.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of women eat that after they give birth to their child. It's common.
Sometimes.
The way you're looking at me right now. Google it.
So I'm curious. Why is it that
Wow. I literally have nothing to say.
Why is it that
That's weird,
Asia's
though.
food choice is so different?
They don't want
they're
to
on-
waste shit.
Huh?
You don't want to waste shit. You don't want to waste anything.
Well,
Yep.
also because they're on the other side of the planet,
True that.
I mean, I get
And they're the
that.
oldest.
so
No,
their
it's
traditions are
not
slightly
Yeah,
different. That's
yeah.
all.
I'm sorry.
But-
I apologize, Dad. That's why I took it back. I took it back. They're the second oldest civilization.
But if you think about it, like if Africa, South America, North America, and Europe, their food is kind of similar.
Yeah, this is
Kinda.
because fucking Europe decided to populate the whole Earth.
Not just that.
Have you ever seen people eat
mean,
monkeys, Dash?
No.
I would.
That's
That's another thing.
the
That's
most
another thing.
disturbing thing to watch. They look
Why?
like people, and all
Yeah.
fried up, and you're watching people eating them. It's just disturbing.
It's not my line. I don't draw the line there. Bro, like I've been like
More power
there's
to
this,
you, but
We know who
I
a
mean,
cannibal. We have a cannibal.
I'm not
cannibal
saying
now.
that.
you
I'm
did
just
say you would
saying-
eat a human placenta.
I did not.
Yes,
I
you
did.
did.
You said
I
you-
said I draw the line there. I would not.
You eat about anything. About.
Yeah.
It's pretty damn
But
close.
okay, look. There's a street in where is it? Beijing. I think we were in Beijing, maybe Shanghai. There's this street where they just cook fucking anything. All right, and I did.
Yeah.
I went down the street. Okay, sue me. I went down the street and I had
Did you
some
have
stuff.
a rat on a stick or what?
I couldn't find one. I definitely had
Couldn't find
scorpion.
one.
I ate scorpion, tarantula, silkworm. Silkworm is bullshit. Okay, I hate the way that shit tastes.
I could tell you not to eat that before you even eat that.
Hey man, I just wanted to try. What
Never
else have
had
I
it?
eaten?
And I could tell you.
That tarantula was really good. The scorpion, I wish it was more meaty because it was good.
You want to know what I
had
want to know?
snake, of course. I've had gator, but that's because I'm from Alabama.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this man works at Lucky's.
I
Don't be
would
telling
try
my
some
job,
gator, dude. I was watching that show, The Colony, and they found a whole ass alligator
Yeah,
and cut it all up and killed it
and gator's
and
good,
cooked it
yo.
all up and ate it, and it
Hell yeah.
looked like so. The cuts of meat, it looked like pork. They said it
Mhm.
tasted like pork and had the same
It's
consistency.
it's like deer pork.
Yeah,
It's like gamey.
gamey ass pork.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess what I'd picture warthog to taste like.
yeah. Oh my gosh, I saw this video of Gordon Ramsay. They caught one like in the same day.
Shouts out to
He
Gordon
goes out
Ramsay,
and,
by
like,
the way.
Shouts out to
Shouts
Gordon Ramsay,
out.
my favorite chef in the world.
He
He's a
parted
master.
it out right there in the field and made like a dish out of it.
Is this that National Geographic show, Uncharted?
I don't know. I'd seen this on YouTube a while ago. It was just a
Oh,
clip
okay.
of it, but it was, oh my gosh, man, looked so good. I would mess with some wild boar.
Oh, by the way, hashtag. I don't know why I just said hashtag. By the way, I'm actually gonna post some of the stuff that I ate to our social media. So if you guys listening want to see it, go give that a like. Comment under it. I'll comment back.
Yeah. What else? Have you had like shark?
Shark no.
Really?
I've not had shark fin soup. I've had a lot of stuff. It's crazy that I can't think of what the hell I ate. It's a
Have
lot.
you had anything
Cockroach?
fancy that might
That's
be
worse
disgusting?
than silkworm. Nah, silkworm is worse than cockroach.
Have you had snail? That's the one.
Like
I-
escargot.
Definitely, escargot is good though.
Oh.
That's
What
good.
about caviar?
Oh, I was on-
Caviar, I want to say I have, but I can't remember it, so I can't claim
But
it.
caviar's good. It's like
Delicacy? So is
delicacy.
escargot.
Yeah, but a lot of
escargot.
a lot of rich people like claim to love that shit because it's like expensive, hard to get a lot of like snails and
truffles too. That's
Yeah.
another thing.
but then like broke people
Mm.
will say that shit's disgusting.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So is it really, or is it the status of it? You can eat.
I mean,
caviar
I
every
think
day.
it's just
think it's a
depending on
status thing.
the taste. I feel like it depends on your taste because some rich people will tell you that it's nasty too. Just like there's this 20-year fermented fish or some shit, or maybe it's 100 years in Japan, in Japan, that is considered a delicacy. And I've seen on that show that I've mentioned on here before, An Idiot Abroad. They were offering it to this guy, but he couldn't even stomach it.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, I just figure it depends on maybe culture, taste. I don't know.
But
All
I
of the
think
above.
some tastes are universal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like all
Like what? Chicken?
milk.
Like water.
Milk is definitely one.
Milk? Some people can't stomach it.
No, like as infants, we all drink milk. So there has
Okay,
to be
agreed.
like another thing if like milk is one thing, you know.
Water.
Yeah.
I mean, Trevan
I
doesn't
can
drink
only think.
water.
Yeah.
I'm
Neither
drinking
does my
water
friend.
right now.
So proud of
And
you.
by the way, there's plenty water in the beer here. So
I'm not drinking.
I
any
have
water
enough
right
water. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't even drink that
It
much.
cracks me up.
Now. One thing that came into my mind, I wanted to ask you guys, which is really interesting in my mind. Before we get into that, I would like to say that you know that the AMC theaters are thinking about closing. Like they're
Permanently.
like
They're
permanently
open.
and
They're
not
going to be
opening.
too damaged by this to keep going.
Yeah, and you know one of my favorite things, Dash, is to go to the fucking
You
movies.
did
man.
mention that in a previous
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, but they have a lot of megaplexes here.
Yeah,
Bro.
but AMC's a good theater, but
Yeah,
the
but they're, like,
megaplexes
old
are
school,
dope here.
like, yeah.
Wait. So AMC's closing down, not
Mhm.
Megaplex.
No,
No.
AMC's are like the
So which one is
classic
the one
family
with the
theater that's been around
reclining-
forever.
Which one is the one with the reclining couch?
Megaplex.
Megaplex.
I mean,
Okay.
AMC has it too. They're higher one, like higher
depends
end
on where
ones,
you
but
go.
yeah, really. But I mean, I still want to go to the Broovies where they, you sit down, they bring you your food, bring you your drinks. You could drink alcohol and shit there.
I've been to something like that. It wasn't Broovies, but it was a place that's closed down now. It was really, really cool. The seats were huge
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like wide and tall, and they reclined almost all the way. We watched a 3-hour movie, and I passed out through the second 2
Nice.
hours, the last 2 hours.
I wanna do that.
Do you guys remember the drive-through theaters?
Hell yeah, we had one down back at home where I'm from.
There's
are
one
gonna
down
make
the
a
road.
comeback. Those are gonna
There's
make a
one,
comeback.
there's one in West Valley too.
On Redwood.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
think about it. If
Just off Redwood.
theaters close down, that's gonna be a thing again because people want to do that
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Yeah, especially after this, people are gonna want to be out.
Go out, yeah.
But I did want to get back to what I was saying. The question I had for you guys: what advice or what would you tell your 10-year-old self if you could go back?
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. I just fucking changed that vibe, didn't I?
Don't touch the fire, bro.
Don't touch the fire. Is that for real? Would you just?
Yeah.
All right. Oh shit. Trauma.
Gosh,
Like
been
that. That's
burned.
the most memorable thing I could remember because I was in the 4th grade. I
Yeah.
remember, and I burnt myself
Yeah.
from playing with fire.
You could have been a firefighter, bro.
No. I'm not even gonna attempt that now.
Do you know anything that you
That's
tell
really
your
deep,
10-year-old self?
man. I
It
would.
is. Could be.
The problem is, I should probably tell myself to not ever touch drugs. But how many times has a 10-year-old heard that, and how
Yeah, true
how
that.
serious? You know what I mean?
But
Like,
if
how-
myself were
serious.
coming back to tell me, like, seriously,
do you think
don't
I would
fucking
listen to
touch
myself?
drugs.
I mean, at 10, that was probably like just before the shit hit the fan. So
Damn.
maybe I could have got through to myself.
So it could have probably fueled you some more.
Maybe I don't know. Like I graduated the DARE program.
Yeah.
Everybody graduated the DARE program.
I think, yeah. Well, every drug addict
Even if-
graduated to DARE.
I was gonna say, even if you're on drugs,
Take
you
that,
graduated.
you were on drugs.
Would you go with that? Don't take drugs. or-
Probably. I mean, I would probably go deeper, but in the same the same conversation would need to be had.
I'd probably tell myself, get a bank account as soon as you can and invest in Google or
Google.
some shit.
So
Amazon probably.
You know.
Nah,
you know-
Netflix.
No, you know.
Because
you
it
know
was just
your-
coming out then. Like, get
Yeah.
ready to come out.
You know your 10-year-old self would have to tell your mom that,
Yes.
and what your mom would hear is, "Hey mom, we should buy the glue, the glue, the glue
Bro,
stuff."
nah. Do you know who I am? I can
I-
pronounce
The
words
Google
at 10,
stock.
10 years
no,
old.
at 10 years old, like Google wasn't a thing as it is
But
now.
you're gonna have to convince your parents.
I know, that's why I
to buy
changed it and
stock.
said Netflix. That's when it was just coming out.
But they'd still be like, "Huh? From a
So?
10-year-old?
So,
Come
my
on,
parents
bruh."
would think I'm a fucking genius,
Nah,
bro.
They-
Like, oh, we've got to do this thing.
What?
We've got to
Said
do
no
it.
parent ever.
We've got to do this thing. You don't know my parents.
You know, honey, the kids say we've got to do this thing.
I do believe we've definitely got
Oh my
to do this
God.
thing.
I feel like you are overestimating your cards.
You don't know my life, Dash. You don't know my life.
I would have definitely told myself to like take school seriously.
Yeah.
And
But how
No.
many times have you heard that too and didn't follow the advice?
Yeah, but coming from somebody who, I couldn't see the future back then, in a sense that,
No one can.
obviously nobody can
Now
see
you
the
can see
future.
the future.
Obviously,
That's
you know,
changed.
but what I mean is, I didn't know what I was doing to my future. I couldn't see ahead enough to think, I couldn't picture the future.
But
Does
that's
that make
the
sense?
whole
I
point.
never
of
thought
being a
about my
kid.
future. I never thought about what I was going to be, what I was going to do as an adult, the
Right.
struggles I would have to go through to be on my own,
No
how
kid
I was
did,
going to make
though.
money and pay bills and things like that. But a lot of people where, I'm from, were thinking about that. I wasn't.
Mm.
Everybody they were going to college after high school. They were getting jobs at the banks. They were getting jobs like internships and getting their own places. And I was on the streets slamming heroin.
Shit.
So, and I didn't think about what that was going to do 10 years down the line. Now I'm lucky to have made it out.
I'm glad you did.
And
started a podcast with Dash and Reg Travels.
yeah.
I'm blessed
Thank
to
you.
live the life
Shouts
I
out
live today.
to
But I
us.
had to change my mind about, I had to make a decision and decide this isn't going to work forever. I have to do something that's going to work.
Right.
And I never really would have ever thought about that.
Well, that's your chance to go back and tell your 10-year-old self that.
I wish
I
really
chose
did have a
10-year-old.
chance.
Right, I know, right? No, I'm serious. I would have told myself to
Okay,
get
guys.
a bank account or
So
something.
I got a theory before you jump into this.
What's
Reg.
up?
So do you ever have those moments where it's you got goosebumps all over your body, or you get a body shiver or something like that?
Yeah, it depends on what it's from. I get it from certain things.
Okay, got you.
What's up?
But what if that's a message from the future you, on you know how you said my 10-year-old self,
Uh-huh.
right? So let's say you're 10 years old and you're looking at the internet, since you're such a genius, and you're
Hell yeah.
researching this Netflix stock and where it's gonna be. You're projecting where it's gonna be in the next 5 years, and you get a shiver of you're on the right path because you're talking about it now.
Mom, we gotta do this thing. I gotta shiver. We gotta do this
Oh
thing.
my god! But yeah,
Trust
it's just
me, Mom.
a crazy wild thought that I had in the moment.
Yeah.
Stock sense
one
is
of those
tingling.
unexplainable things that have a meaning, but we don't know what it is.
Mhm.
But
I feel you.
yeah,
Like
I
deja
feel
vu.
yeah, like deja vu.
Have you
Deja vu trips me the fuck out, dude. I don't know.
You know, what are your theories on deja vu?
Shit, dude. They say that scientifically they can prove what it is and that it's a glitch in your brain and it makes you think I don't know. It's something like you lag 10 seconds and then so you're seeing the same thing, but you're like,
Yeah.
I've seen this before.
So one of your
But
eyes sees. So your eyes are connected to different sides of your brain.
Yes.
Yeah. One of your eyes sees something
Yeah, sure,
before
of
the
course.
other eye sees it, and so that's and your brain can't process it seeing
it's
it at
connected
different
to
times.
the same thing as have you ever looked at a clock and it seems like it stays on the second hand
Yeah.
for 2
I
whole
did
seconds?
that today.
Yeah,
I'm
that
like,
always bugged me. I would try to make
Okay.
it happen.
Yeah.
But it's because
while you talk, I'm gonna get some more drink.
when your eyeballs move, they're moving too fast for you to see the frames in between while they're moving. So it's a blur, and your mind replaces that blur with the first thing it sees. It fills in the gap. So it looks like the clock's been on the 35 second for 2 whole seconds before it changes. But it's just an illusion. And I think it's the same. It's connected to the same kind of system, wherever deja vu happens, or whatever they say, the scientists about it, I guess. But
Gotcha.
it's for somebody who doesn't believe in a lot. It's hard to believe that there's a scientific explanation when experiencing deja vu, because I get it so hard. That's what she said.
Bro, I
before
deja vu
anybody
so
gets there.
hard. Oh, I deja
Bro,
vu
the
so
other day,
hard, girl.
the other day, me and my bros were deja vuing in my parents' basement.
Dude, we just
So
deja
hard.
vu and John Wick all day.
12 hours.
I'm John Wicking right now. You don't even know. You don't even know how
Oh my
hard I'm
God.
deja vuing.
But I get it so strongly. It's it feels like this is a memory that I remember before I just had deja vu. It's like it didn't just happen. I've had this memory
Yeah.
for like 10 years.
Yeah.
It feels so
Same.
strong. You know what I
Same.
mean? It's hard to just dismiss it as like, oh, my brain lagged for a few seconds when I looked at something.
Right.
It's a trip, dude.
I understand. Do you know the thing about memories too is like your memories are never like concrete.
True memories.
Yeah,
It's
they're
not like taking a
exactly.
picture.
They change
Like, I
every
could-
time you recall them.
Yeah, exactly. Like I could even say something right now, Dash, from like, oh, remember that time we were at the photo shoot and then we did this, and you're like it could have never happened, and you're like, yeah, I think I remember that. Yeah,
Maybe it did never
okay.
happen.
The interesting thing is it changes based on your emotion at the current time of your recollection. of
Yeah,
the memory.
dude.
So it's like, and they talk about this with psychologists a lot too. It's like how like your trauma could be misinterpreted because the therapist said something.
Yeah. That's why people can't remember certain shit sometimes, like especially in trauma.
Yeah.
Hell
that,
yeah.
That brings in the question of like witnesses and stuff. You know how they call.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You can't rely on that shit
you
though.
cannot.
Well,
why
an
do you still
eyewitness
use
account
it?
doesn't go very far in a real courtroom.
True
unless
that.
it's backed up by some actual hard evidence. They don't
Hard-ass
consider a
evidence.
witness hard evidence.
Um,
It's almost admissible. It's hearsay.
just
Hearsay.
hearsay. He say, she say.
Unless
all
you have
that
like a
shit.
staggering amount of people who all say the
Staggering.
same thing and have the same story but have never met each other.
Speaking of staggering, have you guys seen Drake's house? I was trying to figure out a good segue. Have you guys seen his house though? He released
huge.
finally pictures of his Toronto mansion,
It's huge.
manor house is what it says. That shit is
about getting a drink,
nice.
but I don't know.
Yo, so
Yes,
wait,
get a
wait,
drink and we're
I
gonna
may
take
have to
shots.
drive.
Wait, so manor is another level from mansion, huh?
Manor is like implied with property,
there's no way to
like
go.
a lot of property. Hell no, there's no way to go. Drink,
So-
drink
So
drink
this
with me.
implies the house has like an east wing, a west wing.
Yeah, pretty
a
much.
back
I mean, that's a
guest
mansion
house.
too, but like this one is like manor is like upscale. Okay, and
He says
I
that
get
with
it
his snobbish.
upscale. But it goes because Canada is part of the Commonwealth,
Yeah,
and
makes sense.
And Trevan, you know what the Commonwealth is?
No,
It's all
but
the
I'm just
British
gonna drink
countries.
wine.
Yeah, all
out of
the
bottle.
right, all of the countries and territories that England, the Commonwealth, England, the royalty, the monarchy has
is a lot.
conquered and all that shit. Yeah, which is a lot. Australia's part of the Commonwealth, but anyway, so manor. That's how I think of that. That's like regal and shit. But that is a lot of room right there.
It is.
Like he released all these pictures. I'm trying to go through them like pretty quickly because we could look at them later. What the hell is that? That's nice. But he has like a lot of rooms. There's his basketball court here.
Dude, that shit's lit.
Yeah, it's like a full ass fucking. Look at the skylight in there.
So
crazy.
I guess we can believe
Bathroom.
him when he says he needs a walkie-talkie just to get a beverage.
Yo, straight up, I'm sure he did. Does not did. I'm sure he does need a fucking walkie-talkie just to get a beverage.
Just to get a beverage.
I mean, if you had a mansion or a manor, excuse me, that big, would you like have it full of people all the time, or would you like be in it by yourself
hard to
sometimes,
say.
or like?
So the purpose of houses like this,
Mhm.
are you familiar with Dan Bilzerian?
No, who's that?
So Dan Bilzerian is a Instagrammer, like he's big in the Instagram world, and he hosts these big parties in LA, right? So pretty much the point I'm getting at is the point of having a whole big house is to entertain people at it. That's why you got the bowling alley, the movie
Got
theater.
you. I'm
the
definitely gonna get a movie
basketball
theater if I
court,
can afford it.
You know, because you want to have that in your home
Right.
instead of having to go out to all these different places.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd always
You're
have,
absolutely right. I guess so. You'd always have to have somebody. I'd probably move my family in.
bruh, like that's what
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx does. Like,
Yeah, I mean, because we're far enough away, it's big enough. The manor is big enough to like, I could not see you for days. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm that far away from my family in the same place, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Let me do my thing, and I'll see you on Tuesday.
No, Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday. Taco
Taco
Tuesday.
Yeah, Taco Tuesday with the fam.
Did you guys hear Tekashi 6ix9ine is out?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he promises not to troll, but be all over
Bullshit.
the internet.
Did you see what he did already?
What did he do? Oh,
Talking
He's
about
been
somebody
trolling
said
on the
something
internet.
about snitching, and he was like, I don't know,
bio.
said something to like Takashi to the rescue or some shit. I don't know. I could be fudging that all the way up. I don't know why I just
wouldn't
all
be
the way up.
censored
surprised.
myself.
He did have a link in bio. He's a message in his link in bio that said, "Who said I'd be snitching?"
Woo! I didn't realize what that was in that cup. I just poured it. Sorry.
But yeah, he did say, "Who said I'd be snitching on these people?"
It's
And
some
he was
Jack.
link in
It's
bio.
strong.
I don't understand that. Do you guys? How
Not
do
quite
you
sure.
decipher? Because he did snitch on everyone.
He did.
We were
That's-
talking
that's
about
already
last
a
week.
troll.
Nobody's got respect for the streets anymore. If anybody, I mean, that dude did the dirt too. You know,
He did.
So,
and like in front of the world.
he
So
was a big
everybody
part of it,
knows.
and he was like bragging about it. You know, all those memes like, "Oh, rappers telling on themselves, snitching on themselves." He did in all of his songs for so long, and then they finally caught up with him, and he was like, you know, it was him and
Yeah.
them, and
Speaking of
he pretty much did a Joe Exotic.
Joe Exotic.
What do you call that move, bro? What would you call that?
He didn't do a Joe Exotic. Well, no, Joe did end up telling on them folks, didn't
He
he?
did.
We call it a Takashi right now. We call it a 6ix9ine.
It's 6ix9ine.
But speaking of other criminals, do you guys know who Ezra Miller is?
No.
Ezra Miller.
No.
He's the guy who plays the Flash in like Justice League movies. He played the Flash in Batman versus Superman.
yeah, I'm not too up
He's
on
basically the
superheroes.
Flash. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
So
not
basically, fans are like fucking outraged, and I'm kind of outraged right now because I don't want him to be the Flash anymore. Reason being, there was a video that surfaced a few days ago of him assaulting a female fan, like choking her, physically choking her, and like getting her on the ground. Like, and I'm like, and people are saying that, oh, let's wait to find out what happened. What? Do it doesn't matter at this point. He's
maybe.
choking. There's nobody. The footage. There's
a
nobody else
slim
around.
chance
He walks up to her and just fucking starts choking her, cause she's like, oh,
out of nowhere.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, she's like, you want to fight? Like joking,
Damn.
smiling. You can physically see this shit.
Damn.
And then he's like starts choking her and like slams her to the ground. Yeah.
Well,
I feel like
yeah. At that point, he should probably go to jail at least for like the weekend and sober up.
Yeah, we don't. So, bro,
So-
us as fans don't want him to be the Flash anymore. A lot of fans are calling for Grant Gustin, who plays the Flash in the TV shows, to be the movie version of the Flash. But I don't know how the logistics of that, because TV acting and movie acting are completely different.
So
I
different
believe
just
that.
to watch
I
even.
believe that.
Yeah.
But
There's
here's
such a difference.
here's my thoughts on that whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was a basketball player, I believe, who did the same thing.
Not too long ago.
It was quite a few years ago.
Oh, okay.
Like, he kind of choked his wife and slammed her against the elevator because it was kind of like a mirror.
Oh.
Slammed that. I forgot who it was, and people were
I'm not remembering this.
calling
I'm
to
pretty
have him
sure.
suspended and stuff. But
Was
There
it like
was-
Ray Rice or something?
that does sound familiar.
elevator.
Basketball?
I don't.
It might have been
remember.
football. He don't know.
Yeah, I don't know the difference. I'm an American.
He don't know American sports.
But Mayweather also did comment about another football player, basketball player, being suspended from the league because of his association with marijuana. And Mayweather's comment to this was, "What the player does off court shouldn't count."
As long as, in my mind, I agree with that, as long as it doesn't affect what happens on court. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Now, with that being said, the NFL has banned marijuana testing.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a step forward.
nice.
Yeah, right?
Those guys are in more pain than anybody. They should be able to smoke whatever the fuck they want.
Exactly.
I don't think you should be saying that, Trevan.
So,
Yeah, it was Ray Rice.
Ray Rice, okay.
He plays football for Baltimore Ravens, or he did. But there's a security video of him like beating the shit out of his wife in the elevator or something.
He was beating her, not just slammed her.
I haven't seen the video.
Yeah, this goes back to that actor who did that same thing to.
Yeah, Ezra Miller.
Yeah, so it's like he did that, but at the same time, does his acting ability is it outshined by his bad behavior?
No.
So why do you want him to stop being the Flash?
Because us nerds, us comic book nerds, we take this shit to heart. Like, you're representing Barry Allen, the most pure-hearted superhero almost. He rivals Superman, and pure heart. So if you're playing that character, we don't want to see this bullshit. We don't care about what you do. I should not say that. Just don't let it be on camera. That's even worse.
I feel,
and then it's a fan.
That I feel, and I'm not advocating for him beating up.
I know.
women.
I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm just getting riled up just because I feel passionately about this.
I can tell.
But also, I know, right? But also because I was never a huge fan of his Flash anyway.
Okay, well, you know what? That brings up an interesting phenomenon, an interesting point. Like, in the world today, if you get caught with something as a celebrity, it is easy to quickly ruin your career with that information. It spreads so fast on social media. And if we decide, no, that guy's a pedophile, no, that guy, it's happened to comedians, actors, directors, producers.
Shouts out to Louis C.K.
With all this Me Too stuff going on, there's, and not just that, but like if they're hitting a woman or if they're doing something that just like doesn't represent what society thinks it should. Is there a grace period for that, or like? What I'm trying to say is,
I don't know.
in the best way possible, is there like,
saying.
yes, we should hold them accountable, even though they're celebrities, but
they're still human.
Is there a point where we let their life continue? If you get in some major like trouble with the law, and you clean your act up, and you're a changed man, and you're a positive, member of society. Society gives you another chance. I'm not in every circumstance. There's a lot of challenges that come with like being a felon and getting back to work in a lot of areas.
I think
and
that
things,
depends on the individual.
Yeah, maybe. It also can depend on the circumstances placed on the individual. I think
and the reason why I say that is look at Chris Brown.
True.
Well,
I see where you're coming from.
That's a whole nother argument.
It is a different
I definitely
animal,
see your
but
point.
I see where you're coming from.
But just because everybody doesn't have equal opportunity doesn't mean that everybody has what it takes to get equal outcome.
True.
Going back,
some people are so sorry.
No, my bad.
That some people are so motivated to get out of a shitty place that turn their life into something crazy, from like growing up in the hood or growing up in where there ain't nothing, but that doesn't mean that everybody can do that. Not everybody can do that.
But going back to the Ezra Miller thing, like I said, I know a lot of people, a lot of not his fan base, the Flash, the comic books, the DC fan base wasn't really particularly happy when they casted him as the Flash. Now in the first place. He didn't do a horrible job, but I just feel like there could be a way better Barry Allen. Just as a fan. And here I go with my nerd shit.
Sure.
But like I said, it could be a better one anyway, but we're also at a point in the DC movies where with the multiverse, they could effectively change the character without changing the story. And the reason why I say that is because like the Flash movie that was set to come out anyway, they haven't started. They literally probably just started or just finished writing it. They haven't found a director. They just barely found a director. But you know what I mean? So here's a really good chance to finish writing what you're going to write and then just put a different actor in it. I'll play the motherfucking Flash.
So it seems like the fans are coming from a place of we didn't like you in the first place.
And now this
we have
shit.
A reason to remove you.
Now this shit.
Bro, that's
now
some
tainting
cold
the
shit.
good name of Barry Allen.
That's some cold stuff. But I see where it's coming from.
Yeah, I get
see
it.
where
But
it's coming from.
at the same time, like back to my point is a celebrity. Like, do we kick him out of being a celebrity? Or
not-
I mean, I understand not wanting him to be Barry
No,
Allen.
not
anymore.
not
That's
not a
just my
celebrity.
personal shit.
Not a celebrity. Just say as a person in a profession. Bro.
He needs to be reprimanded though.
Yeah, but do we let them bounce back from that?
I think
And
it's.
I don't
feel
think
like-
anybody has the answer, but I think the conversation needs to be opened up.
I
You know
think
what
people
mean?
can change.
And think about it. The reason why it depends on the individual, as I said before, is because if you're willing to get past it yourself, you're more likely. That's more likely the response you're gonna get from others. Whereas if it's
Sure.
like a constant burden on you, that's gonna be the outcome from other people as well. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right. I think people can get past it though. Like you even came up with the whole Chris Brown thing. I just think that people should have a chance to be able to change.
Well, and we talked about that before, I think, on
Right.
the Convosaries too. But
For sure.
that was a long time ago, and that was before the explosion of social media.
Yeah, but
when
even
the whole like Rihanna thing happened,
even like shortly after, he was still back on top. Like
Yeah.
almost within a year later, he was making like back-to-back number ones.
yeah, maybe. But at the same time, like I said, that's before the age of like we can see everything.
Okay, I see where you're
Through
coming.
social media, and we will hold you accountable for everything, and you have to be super liberal, and you say
No.
one thing out of line, and we're gonna attack you and ruin
You
your
know what I
career.
also
Okay,
think
that.
You don't
contributes
have to be super liberal, is not what I'm saying, but there's
Uh-huh.
that societal thing out there that
Mm.
Something I also think that contributes to it is the repetition of it. So if it happened on a once-off occasion, you're more likely to be forgiven. If it's a repeated thing, then people are gonna be like, "We see a pattern here."
What about Tiger Woods? Did we forgive Tiger Woods yet?
Yeah, he won. He won the
Green
PGA
jacket.
Tour. Of course, we forgave him. I'm speaking for everybody. I couldn't care less.
I didn't even know. That just came
Um,
up. I was like, gee, I wonder.
Yeah, he won again, and everybody loved him again. But yeah, I mean, sure, whatever. So let's do it.
Should we
Let's
get
do it.
into
Let's
this,
do
man?
it. Let's
Should we-
do it. I've been waiting on this shit. I've been waiting on this shit. Let's talk about the motherfucking Tiger King, guys.
Tiger King.
Oh, you cool cats and kittens out there. This is
Oh my
Carol
gosh.
Baskin at the Big Cat Rescue.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Before we do that, let's take a shot, Trevan.
Shit. All right.
I'm not an alcoholic. You're an alcoholic.
I was trying not to drink on this episode because I really wanted to talk about this, and it's really important.
this.
Fuck
Oh,
that
don't worry.
bitch,
We're
Carol
going
Baskin.
to fucking Carol Baskin.
Carol Baskin.
There's a few things I really want to talk about. That dude. So number one,
Let's start at the beginning. I made a topic list because I'm so excited. Wait. Go ahead. I guess we'll do your most memorable moments. I guess.
oh gee,
Oh gee.
Oh, gee, Rick.
there's two characters in the beginning of the show. When it
I'm
starts
so
off.
sorry to interrupt again. One more thing before we get into that. It's about Tiger King. You remember when you guys asked me about that, about the Tiger King, and I told you 5 or 10 minutes in I knew what the fuck it was gonna be? Did you guys know what the fuck it was gonna be?
Yes.
I kind of
Right.
figured it out.
Okay.
but
I'm sorry.
there
Go ahead.
that thing
Whoa.
goes again, dude.
Yeah. Hold on. I think on the episode you can't really hear it. Oh,
No, you can't.
oh. Sorry guys, we're having technical difficulties. We're hearing shit in our headphones.
Something is not right.
While we figure it out, I'll keep talking. I guess maybe we need to buy new headphones.
There it is.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Sorry. Now go ahead. Two characters you were
So
saying?
there's two people that are missing some limbs.
Oh,
they're just
bro.
in the very beginning of their interviewing, like all of the employees at this tiger zoo,
You can't tell
and
in the very beginning. The chick with the missing arm?
so the whole time you're wondering, these few characters, did they not have limbs when they started working for the tiger zoo, or is it because they work at a tiger zoo? And you can't help but wonder that
Immediately.
until you find out.
And Joe Exotic has a problem himself too, because he has a crutch and.
Oh, yeah. Like, that's in the
And if you haven't seen
beginning.
it, fuck spoiler alerts, dude.
Yeah, fuck that
Like,
shit. You've had
This
time.
is real life, and
There's another episode that they're adding that's coming out this week.
this has all been in the news, and they're adding another episode?
Yeah.
I thought
Oh,
it was
good, 'cause I
bad.
thought
Like an
that was
after
the
show
end.
episode. No, it was the end, but this is like an
Oh.
after show
I
episode.
want to see more so bad, man.
Spoiler alert, Joe Exotic, who is in prison right now, has coronavirus.
Wow.
I did hear about
Yes.
I saw something about Trump, like releasing him, or what do you call that?
him, like specifically.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
he
he's
was
trying to
tweeting
get him
about
pardoned.
Pardoning him, yeah,
Dude,
that's the word I
and-
was thinking of.
Look, I'm like, Trump is really making like a good run right now for fucking president. He's trying to get Joe Exotic out. He's doing like
No,
he's
no,
like
no.
Okay.
giving out $1,200.
Serious.
On some real shit, though, on some serious shit, all of those Tiger people are fucking awful people. But most of all,
Every
fuck
one of
Carol
them are.
Baskin.
Most of all.
Because, and not why you're thinking, but because she runs, her whole campaign is we're fighting against the tiger people that are awful and evil to
And
tigers.
keeping them in cages.
And she's got tigers in
In
smaller cages
than Joe Exotics.
The whole thing is a hypocrite show.
Bro,
She's like, they
that's
take
why-
pictures and sell pictures of people with tigers to boost their status, and we
What is
don't
she
use
doing?
tigers for that. She's got millions of YouTube fucking viewers that she's making money off of with pictures of her with fucking cats.
Now, dude, there's
fuck that bitch.
one
bro.
thing you gotta like respect about Carol Baskin. She's running this whole fucking however many acres they have. She's running that whole zoo, and she doesn't pay one person to do it.
Dude, that was the other thing. Like,
All of her people who
the-
take care of this zoo are volunteers.
there's like these 7
Yo.
fucking giant.
Guys, I hate to interrupt you, but I did look the pardoning thing up of Joe Exotic, and it is a thing. Like, this is a discussion thing. These are the times we're living in, ladies and gentlemen, where Donald Trump can call the president of Sweden and call him to release ASAP Rocky, and he's planning on releasing the Tiger King as well.
I mean, we voted in a reality show host for president, and
Exactly.
at this in
What
the
did we
same
think it
year,
was gonna
Joe
be?
Exotic ran for president.
Same year. Same. Did you guys fucking hear his campaign?
I thought that was like in the 80s or 90s or something. I watched the show. It was in 2016. What the fuck? America?
Yeah, it's crazy.
His campaign is like, yeah, I've done drugs. I've got a case because some bitch down in Florida. And yeah, I've got 2 husbands. And I do participate in the gay marriage. I'm gayer than a $2 bill. But you should still vote me. First things first, I'm not cutting my hair.
He did well.
Motherfucker.
He did well running for governor.
Yeah, he did way better. Way better running for
I mean,
governor.
he still didn't like.
Isn't it just
He didn't get
wild?
elected anything, but he
Like,
did well. He
that's-
did a lot better than when running for president.
That was my thing while I was watching this whole thing, is that like a whole bunch of this stuff is allowed to be done or can be done,
Can be. Not allowed. Can be, yeah.
and I'm just like,
And that was Carol's whole thing. Like, the only, like, again, like you said, every freaking person on there was a horrible person. There's not one, like, good person.
Yeah.
The best person there is the dude that was like, yeah, we killed a federal agent on my property. Okay, my friend did it, but I didn't do it. Yeah, I'll go to jail. I know I'm going to jail.
Who,
That
Jeff?
dude, no, not Jeff. It was some other dude, like Al Pacino type dude.
Oh, I know the guy.
But he was the only straight laced dude. Everybody else seemed crazier than batshit. But it's crazy, man. Like,
the assassin guy.
But all of those guys are like
Not
gangster
him.
type folk.
Not
him. They are.
They're all twisted and they're all like running their scams and their games and making money and showing off tigers and trying to be the baddest dude in the neighborhood. And
my thing is, Joe, you know he married 2 straight men.
oh, that was the big thing at the end, the big fucking spoiler, man.
So we watched this.
His
We
2
watched the
husbands
Tiger
are-
King 2 episodes at a time.
Uh-huh.
and each episode, it just kept on getting crazier.
Right?
And crazier.
It's like,
But
this can't be real, and it
coming
can't get
from-
crazier. But it does.
It does.
Coming from the drug world, I understand that. Like I'm not saying that I've ever been, gay for pay or gay for drugs, but it is
Everybody heard that. Trevor's been gay for pay. We heard.
I had a really good way of getting drugs. So, I was fortunate enough to not have to suck a lot of dick for crack.
Not a lot.
But at the same time, like that's a harsh reality of drug addiction is there's a lot of straight men on the street sleeping with men for
Yeah.
just to get their fix. That's something that and it
I'm sorry. I'm just laughing at the shit that Joe Exotic told, what was it, the first dude?
he says
He said,
he
when
ain't that straight.
yeah. What he told him, he said, now when you're looking at porn, do you like it with the small dick or the big dick? He was like, well, I guess it's more fun to watch it with the big dick. He's like, well, you ain't that straight. He got him.
And you know where that comes from?
Shit's easy.
That comes from a Ron White bit. He tells
Really?
it way better than that. And I don't want to ruin it, but I mean, I guess the bit's been out forever. But
Bits out, bitches.
it's from an old set, but he was like telling his friend. His friend was like, "Well, I ain't gay," and he's like, "Well, how everybody's gay? It's just to what extent are you gay?" And he says,
I've
"Well."
actually seen this.
He says, "Well, do you watch porn?" And he says, "Well, I'll watch porn." He says, "Would you only watch lesbian scenes, or would you watch a man and a woman?" He says, "I'll watch a man make love to a woman." He says, "Well, when you're watching that, do you like the guy to have a small, half flaccid, soft penis?" And he goes, "No, I like big, hard, throbbing cock." And he goes, "Oh, I did not know that about myself."
That's hilarious. We should use that as a soundbite someday. No, but yeah. So the first husband, so he marries the two guys together, right? And the first husband is been banging the secretary for years, and then she ends up getting pregnant, and he's like, "Well, not gay.
And
I was just here for the meth. I'm gonna go have my kid now." And then what's the other one?
The other one, the surfer kid, Travis,
Travis,
was banging like every hot chick on the park just the whole time.
He's like, "I'm not really gay. I'm just here for meth and tigers."
Yeah.
But like he ended up killing himself on camera, off camera, on camera. You could see the gunshot off camera when he did it, and then the dude that saw him do it was just like there for like fucking 2 minutes.
Yeah, just in show.
And I understand. Like I would have been like,
had the angle, they just didn't show it. Like
they probably would have showed it. It's Netflix.
I mean,
But that's harsh, man.
Look at how much flack Logan Paul got for.
Should we dive deep into this devil's advocate though?
We can, yeah. I just wanted to get the highlights out of the way. You just wanted to get to Carol Baskin and her fucking.
It's important to me.
All right.
First of all, before we get there, I believe that Joe burned down the Alligator Studio.
Oh, he definitely did. And he put on a hat.
100% Joe Exotic.
He put on a hat to make it look like it was the other dude. Like burning all his own
the
footage.
other dude had so much good footage for like one of the best reality shows that anybody could have ever made.
Yes.
He would not have thrown that away.
Exactly.
And plus, I mean, it was all this dirt on Joe Exotic. The only person that was in charge of when he got filmed before was him with his internet show and all his antics, him thinking he's a superstar. But now you got this guy who's just recording all sorts of stuff. Who knows what he's seen that he shouldn't have? And is he gonna show that? Is he gonna expose you, or is he gonna turn a blind eye to that stuff to make the,
Yeah. And also before we get into it, I just wanted to give like a couple of my favorite moments. I didn't get to do this. But two of my favorite moments is number one, when Joe Exotic like flees, like when they're finally coming after him, like legally and everything, and he apparently flees.
Oh God!
Which really, what it is he's not fleeing. He just threw away his cell phone and got a new cell phone, and then went down to like Florida or some shit, and was like, "Oh, I'm in Belize," taking pictures like, "Oh, I'm having a great time in Belize." But that's one of my favorite shits. And then the other one is
that's Florida water.
Right. The costume changes that Joe Exotic went through. Like when the chick got her arm bitten off by the tiger, by the way, they were like, "Oh, we could save it. It's just gonna take a long time of like
2
rehab."
years of reconstruction
She's like,
surgery.
"No, fuck that shit. I gotta go to work." So she's like, "Cut it off." But he does a costume change into an EMS jacket. And then at the funeral of Travis's funeral,
oh my God, that was the most
number
fucked up
one,
shit.
he tries to make it a music video, but he also does a costume change into a priest. I'm like, what is Joe Exotic about, yo?
Did you see the poor kid's mom in the front row, like, clapping and
when he was talking about,
This is the most
Oh, I
disturbing
just
shit
love
I've
that
ever seen.
kid's balls. He put the balls in my face all the time. Everybody here has seen his balls.
They were like golden nuggets to
They
that
were,
boy.
they were like golden nuggets. Fucking Carol Baskin.
but yeah, I got a lot more shit we could talk about, but let's talk about that motherfucking Carol Baskin.
Okay. Do you guys
Devil's
think
advocate.
She did it?
Devil's advocate. Do you guys think Carol Baskin killed her husband and then like covered him in sardine oil, fed him to a tiger, then put him in a meat grinder, And then,
Dude, fuck the meat grinder part, okay? She was right about not being able to fit him in that little bitty-ass meat grinder. I seen it,
But
okay?
she
Yeah,
knew-
that
she
is a
knew the
small meat
specific,
grinder.
though. She knew
But
that
here's the thing.
a hand wouldn't fit.
Here's the smoking
more
gun
shot.
for me is they cut to Joe Exotic and he says, "We feed a tiger a whole turkey. Its stomach is so acidic that when it, there's no bones in the feces.
Right.
No bones. It's all like liquid shit." Okay? And then cut to Carol Baskin and her husband, and they go, "We couldn't have fed him to the tigers. There'd be bones. Where's the bones?
Right.
There's no bones."
True.
Okay, but we've already disproven that.
Now the other thing is, so when you guys remember when Joe was getting attacked by the tiger, he was like, "They put cologne on my tennis shoes or on my boots,
Yeah.
on my shoes," and then like he was beating the shit out of the tiger.
He almost shot one.
Yeah, he was shooting at the ground just like to try to scare it.
Yeah, but he was like, "I will fucking shoot you."
Oh, he did say that. By the way, he killed 5 tigers
he
on
does
his
threaten
property.
people a lot.
But yeah, I know. But that's a whole nother thing. We could get into that at a different
I
time.
ask him what you keep the guns around for. You're
Yeah.
always holding. Is that
He's
for
like,
the tigers? And he says, "It's
"I'll
for
shoot
people.
you."
I'll shoot you before I shot one of my tigers."
Right. But yeah, that's definitely true. So what were we talking about?
Did Carol Baskin kill her husband?
Carol Baskin. So the thing is, like when he was getting attacked, like with that tiger, it immediately cut back to Carol Baskin, and it said, and she was like, "Cologne on his shoes? No way. To get a tiger to eat somebody, you'd have to cover them in sardine oil. Motherfucking bitch. Did
If
you
somebody
just admit to
knew.
some shit? Right.
If anybody would know.
Right. That and
It's
then
too suspicious.
she changed her husband's will because like the husband's secretary had like power of attorney.
Come on, give me a break.
And like some secret shit, and so Carol Baskin went in and took the whatever papers it was. Then the next day came back with him, and then a week later, the dude, her husband, disappeared. Quotation fingers disappeared. And then like on his will, it said in case of disappearance. The lawyer was like, "I've never in my life seen that. In case of disappearance."
Yeah, he put in his will in case of disappearance.
Yeah. So their whole thing
Instead
is
of
like
in
he's
case
in
of
South
death.
America.
They
That
always
was-
put
that was
in
the
in
paper
case of
trail.
my death.
Mm.
That was the paper trail. Like, that is pretty much hardcore evidence, and the fact that they didn't, like, you wouldn't need a body at that point, bro. You got a paper trail. You know what I'm saying?
The problem is that's not enough hard evidence.
It wasn't even enough hard evidence when the family, like the kids and the ex-wife of the ex-husband, was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, she killed my dad. She killed my ex-husband." She wrote them out the will allegedly. Let me save myself. She allegedly wrote them out of the will. You know what I mean? And that shit's crazy.
It is. But
Like she's got 90% of all the estate, and he was some millionaire. Like he had like millions.
I think he had it coming to him in a sense.
Which one?
The husband who died.
Why is that? Because he told her to get in. Because he was basically.
He ditched his family.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I was saying. Like he told her to get in the car and hold him at gunpoint. That's how
Bruh.
he picked her up.
Bruh.
But yo, maybe unpopular opinion. Carol Baskin was a baddie back in the day. Do y'all
Back
see
in the
those
day, fuck
pictures?
yeah,
She was
dude.
sexy.
Oh yeah, dude. That's why Don Lewis, her husband that she definitely killed, got with her.
Yeah, definitely.
Didn't he leave his wife? who
Yeah.
Was hot as fuck too, but
Family.
But
Carol
not-
was younger at the time
Bro,
when
yeah,
he found her.
Carol was
and
definitely
then
younger.
and she told him like, "You'll regret getting with that dumb bitch." Like,
Carol Baskin from down in Florida.
She knew.
Yeah, dude.
he paid the ultimate price.
But they've reopened the case. That's why it's another shot. That's
But-
why it's something to think about. They've reopened that case. That's why I made this the devil's advocate. What do you think, Dash?
Bruh, like the paper trail leads to Carol Baskin, but her husband brought it on himself. Like, with the gun thing that you mentioned earlier on. What?
Yeah, dude, they were already
What?
crazy from the get-go.
Bro, like if this thing is not scripted, what is going
It's
on?
not. And
with-
what is the world?
What is the world? Like my sense of what people are and what they do has been completely warped.
Oh
and
yeah, fuck that shit. You don't know shit about
you don't know
Dude.
anything about anything, bro.
The other thing that gets me with beyond a shadow of a doubt, like, and this may not be good enough for a courtroom, but the law states that with a missing person, you can't declare him dead for 5 years.
Yeah.
This motherfucking bitch waited 5 years and 1 day. The
And
very
one
next
day.
day after she was allowed to declare him dead, she jumped on it. She'd been fucking waiting 5 years. She was praying every day, fucking sweating through those 5 years. Like, I just got to make it another fucking couple of years.
Right.
I just got to make it another year. Only 2 more months, and then nobody's going to question me. He'll just be dead. And they never had a funeral for him.
At all. And anytime she talked about him, she didn't look like she was remorseful. She was just like, he died or he's disappeared or something.
She got rid of all of his stuff as soon as he went missing. She threw everything away with his name on it.
That's what I'm
sold
saying. That
everything with
is
his
the
name
paper
on it.
trail.
Fed him to
That
the tigers.
stuff right there. That, I mean, why can't police take that stuff and be like, "Yo, Carol Baskin"?
Because
It's not hard
okay,
evidence.
when they were doing all the cases and everything, they were so focused on Joe Exotic because that's who Carol Baskin was focused on. Carol Baskin had PETA on her side. She had like the World
By the way,
Wildlife
fuck
Federation
PETA.
and all that shit. Yeah, for real. Oh, and let me answer that question that you had earlier, Dash. Do I feel sorry for Joe Exotic? To an extent, I do. Like when he at the end of the documentary, you could see like he started to really understand what he had been doing. He was like, I kept these gorillas or these chimpanzees away from each other for 20 years.
Mhm.
You know, he's like, they could have been holding
Yeah.
hands all this time. Now that shit was like, okay, fucking duh, Joe, number one. But number two
I
is
feel like
like,
that was a lot of the show.
I hope you're right.
But it really sank in that he was doing that to other animals. You know what I mean? Like, he's now from a prison cell. There's that like famous quote from the end. He says,
So true.
"You know why animals die in cages?
Yeah,
Their soul leaves."
Yeah, yeah. So it was kind of like a karma thing at the
Mm.
end.
Yeah.
But
We'll
it
see
only
what Donald
happened to
Trump
him.
does.
It only happened to him. Not
Well, what do you
Doc
guys think at
Antler
home? Do you think that
or
he should be?
That's
Carol Baskin.
right.
It's like
That's why, yeah, it only happened to him. That's why I'm saying, like, they were only focused on him because that's who Carol wanted. Like, even
What?
after he allegedly paid this
They
dude
were on
$3,000
his trail for a
to kill
while
her.
because of Carol,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
that's where they were focused before any of this happened.
And I don't like Carol, not just because she killed her husband, allegedly, but because, like, for the reason that you brought up. She's such a hypocrite.
She's one of them.
She just
She's
happened
just
to
as
have
nasty
everybody.
and
She had a bigger social following, even though Joe Exotic did over 700 and something
She made
like
money off of
fucking
exploiting
YouTube
cats.
videos. He only got like 80 something views or some shit. But the man was consistent. He was trying to drop hits after hits. He got music videos. This man performed at a funeral. Free Joe Exotic, man.
Joe Exotic.
Free free Joe Exotic. I'm gonna put that as soon as this episode drops.
Yeah, and like I said,
Let me
let us
write
know
that
what
down.
you think. Did he burn down the studio
Definitely.
and all the equipment? Did Carol Baskin kill herself? And should Joe Exotic be pardoned by the president, who is another
Should he?
another famous talk show host,
I almost spelled out hashtag after
Crazy.
hashtag.
crazy times we're living in.
reality show host. Excuse me.
Crazy.
Hell yeah. Well, guys, as always, we appreciate you guys for listening, tuning in. We actually have more social media now.
Thank you
So
very much.
follow us on Facebook at Convosaries Podcast, YouTube Convosaries Podcast, everything else Convosaries, Convosaries@gmail.com.
And I'm the chosen one on Instagram.
I am Dash Makota on all platforms. Hit me up on TikTok, yo. I've been like seeing how that stuff works. It's pretty interesting. Like
Yeah.
the posting side,
Yeah.
it's like different from any other thing.
Okay.
So, hit me
Okay.
up on TikTok.
Yeah, he be on that shit. Everybody hit me up still. I am Reg Travels. Hit me up at Reg Travels on Instagram. Follow me. We appreciate you guys tuning in for another episode.
We do.
Watch
we
these
do.
on YouTube. Share, subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff. We really appreciate you guys all the way around the world. We thank you so much. Have a great day. Have a great night. Whatever it is. Peace.
Until next week, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Ba-ba-ba-bum-bam.
Charlemagne the God.